5 little hedgehogs jumping in a bin. One fell out and broke his skin. Yay!
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 256. We're going to talk about Waymo prices, Skyrocket, and riders Shrug. And a DoorDash driver turns his car into a mobile microwave to, keep shit warm, which is super weird. As you see, it's not Larry tonight. It's Mo from Mo Side Hustles on TikTok. And Larry is on vacation. He got an opportunity to go to Florida and stay at a place for free for the whole week. So he's down there.
Nice.
And Mo and I have collabed a little bit. And I feel like we're more than gig creators. We have a friendship now because we vent to each other too. So about different things.
You know about certain things and I know about certain things. And it just, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Go to gigeconomyshow.com for everything gig economy related. And then I want to talk about our Patreon members, which we can't thank enough. Samson from Grand Rapids, Bud from North Carolina, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Frank from Philly, Tom from Chicago, Jim from Connecticut, Miguel from GR, Linda from Tampa, and Jerry from Kentucky. If you want to join the Patreon, go to patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast. There you get an extra podcast a week, which we will not be doing a Patreon tonight. You get ad-free episodes and a bunch of other fabulous stuff. So check that out if you want to become, whoops, that didn't work, a member. We would really appreciate it. And then Telegram. Telegram's a group where I tried to get Mo to join, but she didn't want to download another app because it would mess up her ADD, which is totally fine. Totally fine. I love it. And but there you can vent with other gig workers around the country and the world. We have people all over the place. And I think we have 54 members in there. And, we talk about gig work. We talk about the weather, which is storming here in Michigan. We talk about all kinds of stuff. And it's just a good place to vent, because no one knows our stuff. As Mo and I were talking earlier, she tries to talk to her boyfriend about it, and he doesn't give a shit. Or not that he doesn't give a shit, but he's like, okay, cool, I don't understand what you're talking about. And so, yeah, it's kind of one of those things, a great place to do that. All these things that we talk about, the links are all in the description. So, yeah. And what else? Oh, TikTok. We're streaming on TikTok. And we'd love for you to join us there. And then Mo is famous on TikTok. She actually did a wiki how to DoorDash, I think. Is that what it was?
Yeah, they decided that I was the DoorDash expert, which I don't know where they're getting their sources from, but
yeah. And I think it's cool. I think that's amazing. And I was on her show Monday night, and she got a troll. I'm like, that's how you know you made it. That's how you know you made it. You get a troll. So yeah, go to TikTok, follow us, trying to grow that to 1,000 followers. Possibly if we can. We're getting there slowly but surely. But Mo, thank you so much for stepping in tonight. I'm really excited to hear your feedback. I tried to focus on DoorDash stories as much as I could, but there's other little stuff sprinkled in there as well. So stories from the road. I have a little one, nothing exciting. I started a new, I guess it's a gig. It's not an app-based gig, but it's called Market Wagon. Do you know about Market Wagon?
No. Yeah, okay. Never heard of it.
So apparently the story with Market Wagon is they try to get fresh vegetables, local meats, cheeses, milk, whatever, into consumers' hands. So it's 1 day a week, and it's a lot of driving, I found out. Yeah, I showed up. They pack their own, you get I don't know. I'm sure the customer orders whatever, so you get delivered, let's say, 20 pounds of carrots. So you take a pound of carrots and you put it in a bag, you weigh it, put it in a bag, and then you put it in all these different bags. And then, yeah. And so apparently, at least at this Market Wagon where I worked, the vendors, excuse me, God, I just drink a beer. The vendors bring in the eggs and they put it away, but the produce, I guess this Market Wagon franchise owner. They stack it all in there. So anyways, bunch of bags, whatever. Ended up being like 139 miles. And that was like, that was a relatively local route. Everything was, most of it was in like West Michigan, but 139 miles. And I made 160. So.
Wow. How long did it take you then?
It took me like 3 3/4 hours, roughly.
Wow, that's not bad.
No, it's, in these jobs, I think we got to look at, I would never do that for Walmart, right? Like, I almost want $2 a mile for Walmart because that's what they pay. You know what I mean? I know what they're willing to pay. And like DoorDash and rideshare, I'd do for like $1 a mile. I said $2 an hour, but maybe I meant $2 a mile. But this one, I don't really know. So, but what's nice about it is I got a check that day. They literally wrote me the check because they knew how long it was going to take. And so I deposited in my account and away we go. So something to think about. I think I can't do it during the school year because it's 1 day a week and it starts at like 10 in the morning, and so that's just not going to work for me with driving school bus. But I think I'll do it for the summer, and it's just nice to have that guaranteed money. As gig workers, I think we struggle stressing out sometimes when we're that goal you have to hit, but oh my gosh, I have 3 appointments today, and so on and so forth, and it's just really tough to it's just really tough to hit that goal sometimes. And this is you get a check, you're done, you do the route, and then you go home for the day, depending on your goal. I guess.
Well, that's how some of these catering platforms are too. Once you get into higher levels and stuff with these catering platforms, it's you work for a certain 4 hours, and then you're done. Instead of working 10 or 8 or 12 or whatever to try and get your goal for the day.
Yeah, it's just a nice break from the grind of waiting for that ping, waiting for that ping to go off and be like, oh yeah, this is going to be a great order. I freaking love this so much, So check it out. Google it in your area. Just search Market Wagon, and if something you're interested in, I think the pay is relatively similar. My friend Gabe, who's on the show usually once a month, he did it on the east side of the state. He stopped doing it, but the pay was relatively similar to what he got paid. So, but it might be different in your area. But if you want a gig that doesn't make you stress out all the time, and you just get your check and go deliver, and what's interesting is there's no app, but they text you this link. And it's Google, but all the stops are built in, and you just click map, and it drives it, and then you just tap delivered, and then no pictures,
really,
no nothing. And then it goes on to the next one, and then it timestamps that you delivered them, and that's it.
Wow,
it's pretty simple, honestly.
Yeah.
So check that out. How about you? Stories from the road from you. I know you always have stories. What one are you going to pick today?
Well, normally I do DoorDash. Uber Eats is fairly new in my area. I keep saying it's new, but it was here, wasn't here. And then, November of last year, Uber Eats decided to come to my little area. And, so Uber Eats has been very interesting. So lots of big quests, and so it's been very profitable for me instead of DoorDash, right?
Yeah, because it's new.
Yeah, you get one order versus sitting and waiting for forever.
Yeah.
So Spark is not super popular in my area. I'm on the waiting list, but I think the Spark orders, the overflow goes to Uber Eats. So I get a lot of Walmart orders, and yesterday I was waiting for an order, and it was a triple stack with Uber Eats. So 3 Walmart orders, and it was going one. And I don't know, for those of you that do Uber Eats, it's not, okay, 1, 2, 3. It's it sends you this way, and then it sends you over this way. So I had one that was local, and then 2 that were completely out of the way. And I think it took me at least an hour and a half because the GPS on Uber Eats is not great. So I always forget that I should type it into either Google Maps or Apple Maps, the address, because it takes you all over. And in these back roads,
I don't understand why Uber Eats map isn't working, because like I have no problem with it. I know I live in a more metropolis, if you can call it like that, but still I would think it would be fine up there.
But it's not. And not just here. When I was in Maine, it sent me in a completely different area too. So I don't know if it's just like back roads or like county roads that it doesn't get. Anyway, I was all over the place. And but it was really nice because I had wanted to go fishing last night because it was so beautiful here. And I ended up just driving around on these old back roads, but I didn't have any service. And I know we were talking about safety earlier, and safety for me is not terrible here because, I don't live in this city. So, one, not having the correct address in the Uber Eats map, and 2, not having service. You can't get in touch with your customer. You don't I didn't know it said leave at the back door, but the back door was not apparent at all. There was a dog barking at me and I had no idea what to do. So I just left it and I took a picture and I drove to where I had service, so I could
upload it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that took me an hour and a half. And then as I was driving back, I got another order, but this one was about half the mileage, one order for $46.
Damn.
With a Walmart order. I know, it was crazy. These quests are just nuts in my area, but it's awesome. I'm really liking Uber Eats. DoorDash was really slow and now it's picking up for me a little bit. Okay. Here. I don't know if it is for anybody else, but
yeah, I know we talked about it earlier on your live. I was like, hey, if you're new to the gig world, summers are really slow, and you're like, it's kind of opposite for you, which I was surprised. I feel like it's pretty common to have to be slow for because a lot of people are seasonal workers, teachers, bus drivers. Right. I mean, you don't realize there's a lot of public school employees. I mean, that don't work all year round. I mean, you're talking food service and parapros and librarians.
But a lot of them, when they're off in the summer, they come here. So they vacation here or take a trip. And so we get that extra tourist,
For sure. Yeah. I think it does vary from market to market, but I think in general, it's like slow down season. But one order for $46. Damn. I don't ever see that. You have to wonder how the algorithm works where it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, why did you shoot? Well, you give me this, which is terrible, or you give me this, which is one order and amazing.
When all day I was getting, 3 orders for $8, going 24 miles or whatever.
Unless that one had a great tip. See, that's what I like about Spark. Like, everything's transparent, and I don't know if it's transparent through the Uber app because I've never done a Spark order through the Uber app.
Not for Walmart orders. You can't tell.
I can tell everything. Yeah, I can tell everything what Walmart's paying, what really the tip is, if it's extra earnings, what items are in the order. Mm-hmm. I just posted a video today, it's a long ass video, but 7 minutes of me being out of shape and bitching about I took an order and I glanced at the items, but it was a 3-stopper, ended up having like 4 cases of water in it, and I thought I was gonna have to call EMS. That's how bad it was. But yeah, check that out on TikTok. I just posted it tonight. So, all right. Gig economy in the news. We always talk about Waymo. We like to hate on Waymo, but, I thought this was an interesting article, and it's kind of been going around. Waymo rides cost more than Uber or Lyft, and people are paying anyway. So basically, the average price right now, is $14.40 for a Lyft, $15.58 and like $20.43 for the Waymo. they did this study and they were like really surprised that consumers would be willing to pay up $10 more just to use a Waymo. Now, I think it's just because it's a novelty.
Sure.
But when it comes down to it, eventually people are going to be like, I'm not paying fucking $10 more to drive in a. I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be like, I want to. I mean, I'm not always trying to be cheap, but I'm always trying to save money. And if I can save $10, if I gotta go there and back, it's going to cost me $20 more to do a self-driving car. I'm just going to get a regular rideshare car or like regular Uber with a human driver. Now I get the appeal because I don't like to talk to, I mean, it's just,
well, yeah. I mean,
awkward.
Not to mention, like you said, the novelty of it. I don't know.
Yeah. And they've done a shit ton of rides. What does this say? Waymo said in May it provided 250,000 rides in May.
In May.
In May. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean they're out working. I mean they're out boogieing. But again, once the novelty wears off, are the prices going to go down? And I think what we've kind of discovered is that it costs a lot of money to run those cars with AI.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not cheap. I mean, we're cheap. We're dumb, right? We're just humans, and we're like, cost them a little money to get us on board, but not like that.
Right.
I mean, how long are they going to have to drive like that to recoup their costs?
I don't know.
It's a lot of money. I mean, but yeah, they basically were price says this was true in the Uber and Lyft rides, but the shortest Waymo rides were priced at 41% and 31% higher than Uber and Lyft. So yeah, they're all pretty high. And I'm hoping when we go to Nashville, we're going to Nashville next week. Cool. By the way, if you're in the Nashville area and love to hang out with Larry, me, and a bunch of other gig workers that have been in the community, in our community, the Gig Economy podcast community for a while, we're going to meet for dinner on Saturday night. So send me a message. I'm very accessible. Like email me, text me if you have my number, whatever, Telegram me, and we'll connect. But we're hoping that we can, Waymo is in Nashville right now. So I don't know if they're done with their testing phase, but I'm going to do it. I mean, I got to get
get some footage.
Yeah, I got to get some content. I got my Ray-Bans, you know what I mean? And I got I'm going to do that for sure. That whole video that I posted on TikTok today was all with my Ray-Bans.
Was it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. So check that out. All right, moving on. I kind of had to do a nice uplifting story for Mo because she's
because I'm the positivity queen.
You're the positivity. We need to bring you on like once a month just to bring a little positivity to this show because we're always talking bad and stuff like that about it or about the gig economy, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
this is about a DoorDash driver that meets a woman who started a GoFundMe for him and garnered over $21,000. I don't know how old the video is, but I didn't watch it. Like y'all know, I try to. This is 3:06. I don't know if I can get through 3 minutes of it. I might cut it short, but I like to be surprised. So I watched the first 10 seconds, and that's it. So hopefully it's good.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
All right, we'll watch this, and then we'll be back talk about it.
New at 10 o'clock, an update to a story we told you about last week. We met the woman who posted a video of her DoorDasher, Larry, on TikTok. She was wanting to find him so she could help raise some money for him.
And that TikTok reached millions of people across the world, and so she started a GoFundMe for Larry. News 4 Jax reporter Ariel Schiller is live for us in the studio tonight. And Ariel, you actually got to meet with both of them today.
I did, and it's such a heartwarming story. We've been hearing from people about this for days now. They met for the first time today since Larry brought Ireland food from Panera last week. We actually met in that parking lot of that Panera. They both described this whole situation as surreal and unbelievable.
The Gig Economy podcast will be back after a quick break.
Should I be excited or afraid of AI? The answer is yes. It's both.
Things are going to look so different in the next couple years. You will not be ready for the disruptions that are going to come. I'm Jeff Nielsen, host of Digital Disruption, the go-to podcast for technology leaders.
Our generation's conflict, I think, is going to be emotional, not economic.
The companies that are going to win are the ones that have a couple of characteristics.
Stay ahead of the curve with Digital Disruption, available now on your favorite podcast platform.
I've done a lot of things in my life. Just handing someone that you don't know a bag of food from Panera Bread, you don't expect a whole lot.
Nice to meet you.
Larry Bailey and Ireland Danahold met for the second time this afternoon. They initially met last week when she ordered food through DoorDash. She noticed Larry's positive attitude even though he was wearing a knee brace and had to walk up 3 flights of stairs to get to her apartment. She tipped him a little extra but decided to post her doorbell footage on TikTok to see if anyone else would want to help him. She started a GoFundMe for him on Thursday that's now collected more than $21,000.
It's such a surreal experience, really. I totally didn't expect anything like this to happen.
While Ireland's gesture was unexpected, Larry says he enjoys DoorDashing, and it also helps him replace the money he spends. Is there anything that you've been saving up for with the DoorDashing or anything like that?
Well, someday I'm not going to be able to work. If I'm still alive, we're going to need money. So part of that. And I've got some, but I just want to make sure. I've lived a lot longer now than I thought I would. So, you just never know how long you're going to live.
While his money from DoorDashing has a purpose,
Okay. It still had like a minute and 20. I'm like, we get it. So
That's so nice.
Super cool. I do feel bad for elderly that are working that long. Although we have to remember some people like to work. Like I like to stay busy. I don't like to grind, but like I like to be out. Like sometimes the last vacation we took, I did gig work with the rental car. You know what I mean? Like I was like, all right, I'm going out. I'm tired of like hanging at the pool. Like I'm gonna go do some work and stuff. A lot of
the delivery drivers in my area, they're in probably the same age as the gentleman in that video, and it just impresses me, like how they're able to work like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a couple of older couples that dash together, which is really nice. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of them, they just don't make enough from Social Security or whatever it is that they have to.
Yeah. And I love that it's available for that because, it's hard to get a job as an elderly person. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't know what you consider elderly. Obviously, he has some mobility issues, and maybe if I would have watched the whole video, he would have said how old he was. But yeah, I mean, are you going to hire that guy to do anything? Like if he even went to Meijer or Kroger, I mean, they're not going to.
Right.
They're going to be like, ooh, I don't know. How much can you lift? And I think that DoorDash and Uber Eats is great for that.
And what impresses me actually is that they're able to use the technology, their phones, and because my mom and dad wouldn't be able to do that.
Right. Katie Marie on TikTok said that she has that too. There, the guy that DoorDashes, he has a cane and nothing stops him, and that's freaking great. I love it. I hope that they do it because they like to stay busy. It is a little sad if they're doing it to kind of stay alive. I mean, you never know their situation. They could have here's the silver lining on the bad side for you for this show. He could have been a piece of shit his whole life and didn't take care of himself and spent his money on hookers and blow. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we don't know. And now this gal this posts him online and like, and you know what I mean? Like
he's at the liquor store.
Yeah. And you know what? God bless him if he is like, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it. But I do like seeing those stories about, just that kind of stuff. It does feel like some of the GoFundMes though, like a kid returns a wallet and he gets $1 million to get him through college. I'm just like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, oh, this young gentleman did the right thing and he gets his college paid for. I'm like,
right,
dude, he should return that anyways. That's just like what humans do. You just don't, it's just funny. So It's always funny what goes viral.
Right.
Paul on TikTok said, me and my mom do this together too. We had to take care of my mom, and my husband stayed with her while she worked. I'm like, that's super cool. Like, it's such a great thing for everybody. Mo and I were talking earlier about, I got this email from DoorDash, and it said 50% of the Dashers are women, and I was really shocked by that.
Me too.
But maybe it just provides that great flexibility to be able to, do work. And I mean, it does for all of us, but I don't know. I would expect the 50% women to be a lot lower. I don't know.
I think so too. I don't know if it said whether they were full-time or part-time, but.
Well, I mean, we Gridwise did a study on stats, and they're an app. I've used them for a while. It's $10 a month, and there's value there. It gives you a lot of statistics of like how much you've made and what you made per mile. And I do like all that, but I don't know if it's worth $10 a month for me,
right.
Which isn't a lot of money, but like, I don't know. It's just like, am I really getting value on it? Pete, wow, bro, it's 2025. Women can work now, But anyways, it said like 92% of gig workers were part-time. So
92%.
Yeah.
So I'm 8%.
You are in the 8%ers. There's not a lot of people doing it full time. And
it's very volatile. I mean, it's not very, you can't really depend on it.
Yeah. Ryan from your channel says you're the 8%. LOL. Hey, I mean, that's badass. I'd be like, I'm an 8%er. I would be touting that shit. Paul on TikTok says that they do it full time as well. I mean, it depends on the market, it just depends. Yeah. I'm impressed that you're able to honestly to do it part time with the limited amount of apps that you have accessibility to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I will say though, there were many, many months that I was doing 12 hours a day, and
well, that's why I think about the market wagon. Like, okay, this is my one day where I just don't have to grind it out. Like I can, depending on what your money goals are a day. But like, I'm like, oh, this is so nice that I can just take a break and just sit in car and just,
right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Is that how, do you feel like that's how Amazon Flex is for you?
Yes. The only stressful part about Flex is, it's hard to get routes at the price at surge pricing. So they'll throw the routes out. I think our base pay is like $18 an hour. Okay. But I typically try to do it for 28 or above. But I mean, you got to refresh. You got to sit there and stare at your phone and do this. Refresh, right. refresh. And it's tough to do. But once I do get that route, it's great. Like I'm making 120 like for this 3-hour route or 4-hour route, and I just sit back, deliver, and go home.
Right. So do you schedule like the day before, or is it that day? Is it immediate or?
Just like every app, it's tiered. So like if you have if you've done enough work, you get in level 1, level 2, level 3, and if you're willing to take base pay. If you are, that's fine. I'm not going to hate on you, but you get the opportunity to reserve a bunch of stuff all through the week. So you can get routes 7 days a week or whatever. But it's going to be at that 18 an hour, and I know I can get it for 28, but I got to work at it. Like it's not like you can just if you want to talk about more about that down the road, there are some apps that help you. It's not a bot. It's Gary's apps that will refresh the screen for you so you don't have to. So that's kind of why I bought 2 phones. I would run that app and I'd look at it in my car and it would just automatically refresh. And then I'd see one pop up and I go boop, boop, boop and try to schedule.
That's nice.
So, yeah. So, hey, Josh, how's it going?
Hey, Josh. Oh, thanks, Ryan.
He says, I told you, people are going to love that.
Yeah.
I told you. Katie Marie says, I haven't done it in my area, but I want to. I'm just nervous, but our slots are like 3 hours for 72. Yeah, that's 8. No, that's not 18. Is that, what's that?
3.
No, that's 18 an hour, right?
Yeah, about that.
Or no, that's.
Well, Katie had just moved. So.
Oh, really?
She's in a new town. I don't think.
Why do I have to do math?
What?
Oh, it's 24. What a dumb fuck I am.
I was agreeing with you, so I don't know.
You're double. We're both. So I think it is. If you're getting that, I think 24 is fair. I mean, I would take that.
I would.
And it all depends on what's going on in your area. Like our prices, like if it's around Christmas, I wouldn't take 24 an hour.
Right.
Like I'd be in the 30s. But y'all, it also depends on like, it just ebbs and flows and just like market specific. You know what I mean? Like sometimes 24 might be amazing because that's just what they're going for, or they've been going for 22 and you got 24. But also it might be shit because you're like, I just got a route last week for 32 or 30 an hour. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
So, hey, Faith. Faith is one of the people that I'm going to meet in Nashville. She lives in Vegas.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, it's going to be great. So, all right. Moving on. So I thought this was kind of a funny photo. So customer cannot provide PIN this is for DoorDash, obviously. If the customer cannot provide the PIN code, follow the alternate method below to complete this delivery. We'll use this as proof of delivery and share the details with the customer. And apparently you have to write 200 characters before you can submit. So
you have to?
Yes, she's like, the customer forgot to provide the PIN, and I forgot to ask. Sweet Lord, why do I have to write 200 characters, and still this is not enough? I just don't know what else to say, and still ... so she could get 200 characters. So
what?
Katie said the PIN is their last 4 digits of their phone number. Is everyone set up that way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Well, that's...
Yeah. Well, I heard that somewhere, and I've had to actually tell the customer a couple of them, because they're like, I don't know what it is. And I'm like, it's your phone number. And and then they give me that, and that's what it is. So that's the only reason I know.
Why did that customer not? I mean, I don't know. Like, I know my wife's phone number, and my daughter recently, she's had her number for 3 years, but I couldn't tell you her number. Like, I don't remember a lot of numbers, but I would remember my own.
My son's, and that's about it.
Yeah, I would know. Yeah, that's weird.
I know my mom's, but that's only because she still has a landline.
Oh, I was going to say, was that your landline growing up? Because I know my original landline. Yeah, I know. I can rattle it off, too. Mm-hmm. Faith says last Ford for DoorDash, but not Spark. Yeah, it's random for Spark. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, it's random. I hate the codes on Spark. It's annoying.
Is it? Do you have to have codes?
No,
Spark,
I mean, it's customer specific.
Random?
I do find if I'm delivering more in a sketchier area, I typically there's a code, or in a multi-living arrangement where there's a lot of people there that like they want to make sure that I'm delivering it to the right person, which is fair. I mean, I don't hate it. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, but
the only time I don't like it is when you can't find anybody.
That's
they're
annoying.
Not there. It's like,
yeah, that's annoying. What? So Flex has it too. Like Faith said, there's been a couple of times where going back to Amazon Flex, the motto is like, I have the motto and nothing gets returned. Nothing gets returned. Because remember, they're not paying you to drive back to the warehouse. And now someone like Faith that does it every day, it's no big deal, right? Because you can return it by 10:30 a.m. the next morning. So you just bring it home.
Oh.
It's no big deal. But I do Spark so infrequently. It's just randomized. And I worry when I get those like pins, if they're not there, that you cannot drop it off. But my motto is if you're new to Spark, you deliver everything. If it's a school on a 7:30 at night and there's no place to drop it, just fucking deliver it. It's not your problem.
Really?
Yeah, it is, because you'll get dinged for it. I think the chances of you getting dinged are they're 100% if you bring it back. But if you leave it and nothing happens to it, I mean, I always try to hide it. I'm not like just throwing it in the parking lot or anything. I'm like, and the customer does get a photo where it was delivered. So if you maybe put it by I don't know.
You mean you don't try and call the customer?
No. It's a school. Now, you can't blame me for that one.
No.
You can't blame me for that one. I'll try to just hide it by a bush that's recognizable or whatever. But, yeah, nothing gets returned. We do not return anything to Spark because I'm not driving 45 minutes back and then have to go to the fucking warehouse. So
right.
All right, moving on. I know you're all excited to hear this, that Instacart and Pinterest are launching a new retail media collaboration. So basically, when you're in Pinterest, you can buy things, and it's through Instacart. That's basically the gist of. Yeah.
Really?
Do I keep saying Spark Faith? I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant. Yeah, sorry.
Because nobody's doing.
No, I know. It's funny. I was telling Larry, I'll go back and edit this shit, before Monday. I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? Jeez, Jason, get your shit together. Like, it's just hilarious. So, yeah, sorry. All that, the last 2 minutes was for Flex, not Spark. I have Spark on the brain. I don't know, because I just uploaded a Spark video. Anyways, so they're working together, and it's fine. I think a lot of these things are good to, am I drunk? No, I only got half a beer down. So, but, I think it's good to do that. I like convenience, like just the simple fact, if I have to get up to get my debit card when I'm buying something, I'm so annoyed. Like, I'm sure you've seen those TikToks where there's like,
yep.
Ugh. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have Apple Pay, I might not even buy what you're selling. I might just say, I don't need it that bad.
Yep.
So I kind of like that they're doing this kind of stuff. Although, I don't know. Are you on Pinterest? Do you have it downloaded or?
I have it, but I don't use it very often. No.
When they first came out, I was about it, right? And every once in a while, when I'm searching for, Katie Marie says I do. I love it. I'm assuming she's talking about Pinterest. Y'all, when I look over here, I'm looking at the TikTok chat because I'm kind of bootlegging it a little bit, so I don't have it in my main chat. So if I forget, or Paula, I'm not trying to ignore you. But so I first downloaded, I really loved it. And now the only time I end up going in it if I'm looking for new tattoo ideas. But it's so clunky. Like, it's very hard to get to the actual website that you want. And it's, I don't know, I kind of hate it now. But Katie says look up recipes. My wife, she's does the same. But yeah, basically they're working together, and Instacart's working with a lot of companies. They worked with Uber. You can now order food through Instacart into Uber, and Uber, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Instacart's trying to do it.
Wow.
So just a more connected shopping experience. And I'm all about, I'm all about making shit easy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. No, that's interesting. I wouldn't put Instacart and Pinterest together. That's not something that connects in my brain.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird connection.
Josh says we give Mo a pass, not you, Jason.
Oh yeah, I know. I ignored that. I don't even know what he's even passing. 7:32. That was.
I think he was talking about when you were adding.
Okay, probably. I was like, that was 8 minutes ago. I don't remember what I did. Katie said, I would love for Instacart to be able to pick the driver. Yeah. Isn't Ship the only one that you're able to do that with? Yeah. Preferred shopper. Even with, with rideshare, I kind of wish they would do that, because I would think it would keep more drivers on the app to kind of build a little bit of a community. And I don't know, not a community. That's not the right word. Just a loyalty, because that customer might request a ride. I don't know. I think Uber their thought is like, and it probably for Instacart too, they just want to get the order there. They want to get it done and get it out. They don't want to wait for you to wait for a little Jimmy to deliver your order, because then might lose the business. And I think that's for rideshare and Instacart. Shut up, Josh. Damn it. All right, moving on. I thought this was crazy, and I want to ask you how many deliveries you have. But this is Nathan. He has 52,569 trips over 10 and a half years with a 4.98 rating. Now, dude,
over 10 years.
Somebody in the chat do the math. Like how that equals
that's like.
Yeah, okay, do the math. Go on. You started it. You've committed.
I can't. 5,000 a year? 5,000?
Yeah, I guess, roughly.
52 divided by 10.
Well, she's doing math. Katie says, all the customers 5, that drop off ask me, can I request you? I know. Is it 5,000?
Yeah.
So how many?
It's 5,000,
okay, how many a day then? Now, dude, take 5,000 divided by 365. Okay. I want to know that at least.
13.7.
So that's not horrible. I mean, and I'm sure he doesn't work 7 days a week. He probably does more, like on the weekends. You're doing more than 13 rides. You're probably doubling that.
I'm doing more than 13 deliveries. I mean, when I was really grinding, so it was way more than that. So how many deliveries are you at? I have almost 15,000 deliveries with DoorDash. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah, in almost October, it'll be 4 years. So do the math.
Oh, God. Now I got to do it? Yeah. All right, here we go. 15K divided by 4. $37.50 a year divided by 365. That's 10.2 orders a day. Holy, that's almost, I mean, that's just as impressive as that guy if you think about it. Because I feel like food delivery can take a lot more than the ride. Because some of those rides you can flip and you can do 3 or 4 rides in an hour. I don't think you can do 3 or 4 deliveries in an hour.
It's possible, but not.
I mean, they got to be lined up perfect. You know what I mean? But holy cow, 10.
And that's just DoorDash. So, I have other apps that I use too.
Yeah. Like what?
Well, Uber Eats.
Well, that's new, but what else? Oh, you don't grocery shop, so.
I do Roadie, and I have done Instacart and shipped. So.
Okay.
But yeah, it's mainly DoorDash.
Have you heard us talk about Roadie XD? Have you looked at Roadie recently?
I have not seen that, but I heard you guys talking about it.
Yeah.
Are you talking about it?
A couple of shows ago, but
somebody was talking about it.
Yeah, it's basically kind of like the Flex of like Amazon Flex for Roadie,
right?
But it's like Home Depot. Some of the stuff can be bigger, but you're not shopping though.
No, but some of those things are huge.
Yeah, you got to really look at it. But I mean, shit. I mean, Gabe's doing $250, $300 for like a 5-hour route. I mean, you can't make that money anywhere else in the gig world.
No.
I mean, eventually I think it'll come down. Like the prices will come down just like anything. But that's so much freaking money just to deliver shit. I mean, it's crazy.
The only ones that I really don't mind with Roadie are the prescription ones.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are, and a lot of times you get good tips with
really
those. I've gotten $25 as a tip with a Roadie. It's crazy.
That's pretty good.
I don't know how or why, unless it was maybe on a weekend and it was a nursing home or something. They really needed the medication or something. That's the only thing that I can think.
I'm surprised there's even tips allowed with that because normally it's sent through the pharmacy, I think, and so the pharmacy's not going to put a tip down. You know what I mean? So, and unless it was just kind of like a random thing,
they hardly even know that I have an order.
Yeah,
I go in there half the time, and they're like, "What? You're what?"
Just real quick, Katie Marie has 14,375 deliveries to be exact,
Katie.
and she has 1,371 deliveries on Instacart.
Wow,
dude!
How long have you been doing it, Katie?
I mean, what she says.
Yeah,
she says 2 years. I'd be like, shit.
Right? Well, at least the math would be easy if we had to do that.
That's true. So. Bubba Sue XD is only in certain markets. Yeah, I mean, it's not in Grand. I mean, I haven't checked in a week. It hasn't been in Grand Rapids. And the Gabe, it lives on the east side of the state near Detroit, so it kind of tracks in bigger. He doesn't live in Detroit, but near Detroit, Ann Arbor area. But yeah, I mean, I would keep looking at it just for shits.
Some of those
grins.
when I was in the Detroit area, those roadies. It was like delivering tires.
Yeah.
Or no
for little amounts of money. Like it's not. We get those too.
$3.
Yeah.
Like $1 a tire.
Yeah. Like who's gonna freaking do that? But people must. Katie says since 2020 part-time before I had a W-2 job, but I didn't start full-time until 3 years ago. So that's more than
impressive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've done it for 4, she's done it for 3. So
yeah.
Josh says Gigan posted won $700+ for 41 miles, 197 packages. Were those weren't all at one house, or like there wasn't 197 stops, was it? $700.
Wow.
But the mileage, 41 miles for $700. God dang it.
I would do it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to fit all those in my car, though. I mean, depending on
197 packages.
I mean, unless they were all envelopes, like, well, no, when I say envelopes, like, you know how you get an Amazon package, it's like very flat. They call those envelopes. So, like, unless it's those, I mean, I can't, there's no way. I mean, I can barely fit 50 packages from Amazon in my car. So there's no way I'd do 197. You need a van for that, but. All right, so this guy's a badass. We also found out Katie and Maureen are badasses in their field. So, all right, so kind of tease us at the beginning of this. This is a guy that 17-second video, a guy that keeps a microwave in his car.
Okay, so I'm a DoorDash driver, right? And I just got to say, everybody should have this. I have my hot bag right here, but then here I have a microwave just in case the customer's food gets cold. Every driver should have this. I don't know why they don't.
Okay, let's be honest. He's probably just kidding, right? I mean,
I hope so.
Where is he going to plug that in? Maybe he's moving or something, or maybe he just, maybe he's a scrapper and he was driving by the trash and saw it stick out of the top of it. But I mean, I could see somebody doing that though. Like there are cars where you can plug into like, a regular like outlet.
I'm sorry. Do not microwave my fries. That's all I have to say.
Fries are the worst to getting delivered.
Ugh. I would never get fries delivered.
They're
ever.
Always like, even if you, like if you go to like if I go to Wendy's or whatever, I'll eat that shit on the way home. I'm not waiting, even though I really want ketchup, because by the time. Bubba Sue, he's living in his car. You know what? I actually agree with that answer. I bet he is living in his car.
Yeah, but how is he plugging it in though?
I mean,
honestly,
so we totally squirrel.
Right. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So we're getting a brand new building, like the transportation department's getting a new building for their office and maintenance and blah, blah, blah. And there's obviously a bunch of construction workers there. They brought a microwave and they plugged it in just the outlet, because where they're working at no power. They ran an extension cord so they could heat their food up. And I'm like,
sure,
it's not bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could probably find a place to plug that in.
I have one of those lunchbox. I was selling them on TikTok Shop. Lunchbox where you plug it into your car and it heats up your food. And I also have one of those coolers that is either cooler or freezer. I have one of those in my car too. For
really?
Ice cream and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, really? So you actually use those if you get an ice cream order?
Yeah.
Look at you. How long is it cool down pretty quick? Because you don't run it all the time, right?
It's on. Yeah. It's on
really? So you're like ready to go for ice cream.
Yeah.
The piece said the average car power outlet is about 75 to 400 watts. A standard microwave is 600 to 1500. Yeah, but
too much.
Can't they convert it? I don't know.
You can, but I don't.
What if you have an electric car like me? Does that make a difference?
I don't know.
I don't know either. They are. Again, another squirrel. The government is requiring. Of course, the government is requiring new electric cars to be able to reverse the electricity so that you would be able to power your house from your car if you lost power. They're literally making it that it has, I don't know.
It's like a generator then.
Kind of. It's like AC/DC, like electricity, like something current. The car only can accept it. It can't put it out, but they have to make it both, I guess, for newer cars or something like that.
Interesting.
So, Josh, I can plug a refrigerator in my Tesla. I have a Tesla. I bought an American car. No, I'm just kidding. No, nothing's made in America.
I like when you guys fight.
Yeah, I know. Pete says, also, I agree with Mo. If anyone microwaves my food, I'm going to be pissed. Well, again, I mean, you're going to know. Microwave food is like 95% of it is okay. You're just hungry and you're doing it. 5% maybe it's okay, but like it's
air fryer. If you want to put my fries in an air fryer, go ahead.
Changer. Put an air fryer
no.
in that bitch. You could start a ghost kitchen out of your van with an air fryer. I mean, seriously.
Right.
You can go to Gordon Foods, buy the fries. You could air fry them up and be a great thing. So.
Yep.
No, don't. Please don't do that. So, all right, moving on. Waymo in the news. All right, here we go. Josh's favorite segment, Waymo in the news. No crash this time, but sometimes when there's emergencies, cars don't act the right way. And here's a 1 minute and 3 second clip of a fire truck trying to get through. What the hell? Can you imagine if that was in New York City, they had to push that fucking thing.
That's what I thought he was going to do.
They are very nice because, like I said, in New York City, they'll push your ass right out of the way. They do not give a shit. Can you believe that?
That's ridiculous.
I mean, so obviously we all know as drivers, you're supposed to pull over to the right, but that car, the Waymo didn't even pull over. It just froze. And did you notice that when that first truck cleared, it started moving, and then the sensors picked up another one and then immediately just stopped?
Oh my God.
Which I guess you're not causing any more of an issue, but you got to get out of the way.
You're in the way.
This is where the human element comes in and goes, okay, obviously I need to stop, but I'm in the way. I need to make a right turn and I'll deal with whatever. I'll reroute. But that car, that's where the human part needs to come in. You guys are so far away from that. I mean, I would sue the shit out of Waymo if I saw that video and they were on the way to my house. Exactly. One of my loved ones passed away. I'm like, no, you caused, first aid to be delayed to my loved one because your fucking car doesn't know how to get out of the way. Oh, I don't know where I found that one. Who knows? Maybe Josh sent it to me, but I was so pissed watching that thing. I'm like, this is what we're talking about. Like, right. I love the technology, but it's not ready for game time. Like, let's just keep them on the highway. Let's at least do that. Like, I'm fine with that. But until you can figure out how to navigate away from an emergency vehicle, I think it's no go.
I agree completely.
Would you be comfortable riding in a Waymo? I never did ask you when we were talking earlier about people that drive or ride with.
Me?
Yeah, just personally as like, or would you be like, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're okay with it?
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean, to try it out, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. You'll pay more, right, for the novelty. And then after that, you're like, I'm not going to pay more. I mean, it's great to not have someone.
I'm not going to pay more, no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, I'm not trying
Maybe once.
Yeah, maybe once. Yeah, for sure. All right, so normally, this last article is really awkward. And normally, I give the awkward ones to Larry. But since it's really awkward, I'm going to read it. Who knows if this is true, but this is in, you tell me if it's true. I'll read it. But okay. So this is, I rode an Uber and there was sperm everywhere. That's the title. Okay. Want to share my experience. I'm going to get banned from TikTok. Want to share my experience. When I got in the car, I sensed I sense a strong smell of sperm. Okay, there's a lot of S's there. It's funny he says sperm. You know what I mean? Like that's like the
right.
Anyways, Then saw that there was half dry sperm on the seat, so I moved to the other side and sadly found out both sides have half dry sperm. So does the floor. And the driver's door storage have a bulky of, okay, English not the first language, of toilet paper balls, and I can smell his balls. It smells like I haven't showered for several days. It's a dry sweat mixed with bacterial and dirty ball smell. This can't be real, but it took me a few minutes to realize my situation. So after drop off, I reported it to Uber. They ignored me and just gave me a $5 credit, like throwing to a beggar. Driver has more than 10,000 trips with high ratings, and this is the worst experience I ever had. I mean, do you think that's real?
I don't want it to be real.
One of the comments, first of all, that's disgusting. Second, I definitely would have said something to the driver. It's really unfortunate there are drivers who leave bodily fluids behind for others to see. I used to drive for Uber, and once a passenger left his blob of jizz in my car without me noticing. I only found out after I dropped him off, and I did my usual post-ride check. I reported the incident, had my car. No, that really happened? Like, uh-oh, she's gone. I mean, can you imagine? Maybe this is real.
So disgusting.
It's so gross. Who would do? I cannot imagine my last day for rideshare if I went to do a post-ride check and there was a dollop of on the seat. I'm done. That's it.
Me too. No,
I'm done.
That's why I don't.
I don't even clean the car. I just drive that fucker off the bridge into the river and just call it a day. Like, God dang it.
Because you can't, like, no.
But I got you. Yeah, that would have made you lose it. I don't know if it's true. I mean, I can't say it's not. So.
Well.
Tell me, Maureen. Tell me more about your take on sperm in a car.
It's really disgusting. But that's why I don't want to do rideshare. I mean, not because of that specifically, but like other, like drunk people and throwing up in my car.
I mean, I'd rather deal with 10 throw-up cars than that. I'll be honest with you. I mean, that's just so
it's just so
gross.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. Please don't. I mean, do I even have to do a PSA of like, please don't do that? Like, shouldn't it be common sense to not relieve yourself in a sexual manner in the back of an Uber? Yeah. Well, anyways, on that note, I wanted to make sure I put that at the end. So just in case I got kicked off somewhere that I wouldn't
TikTok banned.
So. All right, Mo, tell me about where people can find you and what you're doing that's fun, and who knows, just tell me your shit.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok mainly. Obviously DoorDash mainly. Also, I'm on WikiHow. So you guys can check it out if you're trying to find out how to DoorDash.
Yeah, honestly, I was on your, it's called the Stan link. It's kind of like Linktree, and she has a little like one-on-one coaching session. And goddamn, I'm surprised you don't get, I mean, I don't hear you talking about it. So obviously when you don't push stuff, it doesn't happen. But that's really smart. I mean, especially since someone's going to contact you, they're going to be out of your market. So what do you give a shit?
I answer so many questions. It's, it takes me a long time to answer all the questions that come through in a day. So it's, I mean, if somebody is looking at, obviously my market's going to be different than somebody else's market, but they're looking at, how does DoorDash work? How does Uber Eats work? How does, there's a lot of people that they just don't know. They're scared to start. And I mean, once you start, it's,
yeah, I think it's great. I think more people should offer that coaching service. It's kind of the same thing in the podcast world, although mine's a lot more expensive because there's a lot more work involved. But like when I sell somebody a startup package, it's with the coaching because, can you figure out everything online and research? Yeah, you can. But some people don't want to do that. They want to cut right to the, right to the chase, give me everything. I'll pay for it. I don't care because I want to get going on it. And
they see what you do and what
Yeah.
you know, and they trust you. And
you should start pushing that on your TikToks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you. I will.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was fun.
for sure.
Even though, I forget my words sometimes. I think that I'm going to say something. And
That's
it's-
okay. Earlier,
Yeah.
it looked like you were going to stroke out, and I just let you go with it. I was just like,
going to lose it. I'm like,
you started
what
your
is going on?
you started your story, and I was
I'm
like, she just stopped talking for 5 seconds. I'm like, is she okay? Do I need to
kind of had a little stroke there.
call EMS? No, it's totally fine. So, I forgot to tell you about the tagline. But anyways, as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit, and we will see you on the road. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Peace. This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.